The acceleration of a particle moving along the t-axis is given by a of t equals 6t minus 4 at t seconds. The particle starts 8 nanometers to the right of the origin and begins moving to the left at a rate of 4 nanometers per second. Same particle motion question we've been asking, or problem we've been reading. We're going to ask a different question this time about this particle. So again, make sure you note its acceleration equation, its initial position, 8 nanometers to the right, and its initial velocity of 4 nanometers per second to the left, so it's going to be negative. So this question, part G, so again, watch parts A through F. Watch the videos in the calculus playlist first, and then get to this one. Because we've done a lot of the groundwork already. But anyway, here's the question. What is the fastest speed? So I want to underline that. The fastest speed of the particle during its first 2 seconds of travel. We want to know when the particle is moving fastest during its first 2 seconds. I don't know if you guys and girls remember this or not, but whenever you see a superlative, meaning biggest, fastest, tallest, that is actually an optimization equation. So we're mixing in this is a simple one, by the way, but we're mixing in a simple optimization equation into a particle motion. I do want you to watch the simulation, though, and see when you think during the first 2 seconds this is moving fastest. We can see it really slows down there around 0, and we're already past 2 seconds. But at what point do you think that was moving fastest? So that's what we're going to figure out. It's kind of hard, right? Just watching. So first we want to write out what is known. We've done these steps many times before. We've given that a of t equals 16 minus 4. Step 2, convert what is given verbally to algebraic expressions. Said the particle starts 8 nanometers to the right, so its initial position is s of 0 equals 8. Next, it begins moving to the left at a rate of 4 nanometers per second, so its initial velocity is negative 4. Step 3, convert the verbally stated question into an algebraic expression. The fastest speed. Okay, so this takes a little bit. Let's look at the train of thought here. We want to figure out the absolute maximum value of speed, right? Absolute maximum of speed. In order to do that, we need to find critical points of absolute value of velocity, which is speed, with the largest speed value. Okay, so remember, when you find critical points of a function, you need to take its derivative. So we're going to have to take the derivative of speed, which we've already done. Okay, we did that in one of the previous sections, so I'm just going to reiterate it slightly. Step 4, map out the relationship between position, velocity, and acceleration. So again, we actually have to take the derivative of speed here to figure out its critical points, which I like to call the instantaneous rate of change of speed, not to be confused with the acceleration equation we were given, 16 minus 4. It's a little bit different, and it has to do with whether it's negative or positive on a certain interval. It's kind of like an acceleration vector. Okay, so step 5, solve the problem using either initial value or derivative procedures. So we did this in a previous section. We found the velocity, we found the absolute value, and then we took the derivative of speed, and we got this back. So this is the speed function. If you take the derivative of that, it's just the original velocity divided by the speed, and then you multiply by the derivative, which is 16 minus 4. Obviously, that's acceleration. You can see why this is called the acceleration vector, because if you divide this by this, it's either going to be positive or negative, right? That's it. You're basically taking acceleration and you're making it positive or negative depending on the t value. So this is the derivative of speed, and we need to solve the problem using, in this case, a derivative procedure to figure out where the speed is fastest. So we want to find critical points, and that's why we're taking the derivative. Now remember, critical points occur when the derivative equals 0 and where it doesn't exist. Since these two factors are the same, we can just focus on the top where that equals 0. Now we've already factored the top, right? And again, you need to watch the videos before this. The top factors into this, the first is a trinomial. So we can use the x method. The second one, you could pull a 2 out, but just set it equal to 0. We get 3 t values back. T equals negative 2/3, t equals 2, t equals 2/3. This one won't matter because we don't worry about negative time in these motion problems. So critical points for speed are 2/3 and 2, right? So we're going to plug them both in to see which one gives us the biggest value. That's all you have to do, right? So again, here's our speed equation. It's the absolute value of velocity equation, which, just to reiterate, the way we got that, in case some of you might be confused, is if you integrate the acceleration equation, integrate that, you get 3t squared minus 4t plus c, but your initial velocity is minus 4, so your c value is negative 4. So if we plug in that first critical value, which we found by taking the derivative of speed, which we call acceleration vector, if we plug in 2/3, we get 5.3 repeating. So that's its speed at 2/3. So that's one critical point. We need to find the endpoints, right? Because that's where an absolute maximum can occur, right? Absolute maximum occurs at critical points or endpoints. So let's plug in 0, which is one endpoint, and we're going to get a speed equal to 4. So this should say, I apologize for that. Let me fix this. Okay, so initial speed is 4, which makes sense, right? Because initial velocity is negative 4. Okay, okay, so the first critical point is 0, 4. Then we're going to plug in 2, which is an endpoint, which has to be a critical point we found also. You don't have to do it twice. So the endpoint is 2, 0. That's definitely not bigger than 4, right? And it's definitely not bigger than our other critical point, which is 5.3 repeating. So which of those points is the biggest? Well, you could basically make a chart and see that at 5.3 repeating is its fastest speed, which was at t equals 2/3. And the units here would be nanometers per second, right? Would be its fastest speed. So before we answer verbally, though, I want to look at the graph and look at these critical points and endpoints. So here's our speed equation. Remember, you can basically take the velocity, speed graph. You can take the velocity graph, whichever negative, and flip it up, put it on above the t-axis. But here's the speed graph. You can see it's 2 critical points, 0, 4, and 2, 0. But you can see that this critical point right here, where it goes from increasing to decreasing, is going to be where its speed is the highest, which is 5.3 repeating. So to answer this question, during the first 2 seconds of traveling, the particle is going fastest at time t equals 2/3. Furthermore, at this point in time, the particle is going 5.3 repeating nanometers per second. In other words, it is traveling. So if you convert that to a fraction, basically, it's 16/3. It's actually going 16 nanometers. It's traveling at a rate of 16 nanometers every 3 seconds. So let's look at the simulation one more time and see if we can spot that. So we're looking at t equals 2/3 to see, right, well, pass it up a little bit. See if you can see that the particle's moving faster. Yeah, basically you can see that is its fastest speed, and then it starts to slow down. So again, at t equals 2/3 is when the particle is moving where its speed is greatest. Again, I know it's moving to the left, right? So the velocity is negative, but its speed basically takes velocity and makes it positive. So this is its fastest speed on the interval from t equals 0 to t equals 2. Now, after t equals 2, you can pretty much see that this particle really starts to speed up. It looks to me like it's going faster than that, but we were just interested in the interval from 0 to 2. That's it for this question of when is this particle going the speed it's fast. When is this particle's speed fastest from t equals 0 to t equals 2? If you have any other questions about this, let me know.